the Palais Mermoon?
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Ah! Okay, when did popping out of thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the traveler said! Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
My help?
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help!
Oh? So tell me, what... Ah, I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves. After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well-versed in all the... But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid...
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you!
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire...
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now. No, true, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it.
Well, is there anything else we can do?
Have I not...
It's all right, Furina. Yeah, I guess...
Toodaloo...
What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point.
You didn't need to say it.
And that gives you the... Shortly after you left... Excuse me, but can you...
Sorry, I was just dealing with a...
Sadly, it's a no.
I see. You see, our...
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get this...
Jeez.
Only joking, calm down. Despite the fact that we failed to
Look, this is the last chance we... So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it?
Yes, I share every one of us thinks of this troop as their home. Myself included.
You're right.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. All right, I'm coming. Hello, one and all.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned. That's when you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly, and all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking. I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then to make matters worse, but in any case, it sounds...
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean...
There's no need to think like that, and no need to keep addressing me as... I was wondering, if this troop is so important, if the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be... Everyone seems so
Everything's been...
Her name was already...
What?
That's actually how I
She was a loyal... She rallied people loved our...
And then...
Yeah. None of us know any... It's aghanim.
Oh.
I suppose it's fair to say then...
Yes, exactly.
Well, good thing I know what I can, but only if you've...
Oh, most definitely.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any something I've begun to realize. The law only judges... What about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? An interesting answer. Take, par exemple, how...
Still, I think you just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from it.
Thank you all so much. Our director... All right, follow... Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina do?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human, and sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script, but the deadline's passed and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago, said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson? Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So allons-y. To Poisson!
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have. I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me, which, of course, I completely understand and accept. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the... I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all.
What do you mean by that?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there. I'm sorry.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their God would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You're only doing your duty.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, but...
I would have never...
Reward? I guess back then, I was scared if someone would believe in the Furina. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity.
So that's where you were coming from.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you. At least the All right.
Sure.
Time to go.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. Anyway.
Are you kidding me right? I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to—
Oh no. We're back! Could you maybe put your different...
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Paulo's nearly...
Great! So you...
Me?
He was originally
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines, too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you...
Wait, that sounds kind of...
It's the most important line in the whole— She kept It was only after—
You mentioned earlier about the.
Yeah, I spent some years— It was like that, and she took me up.
She sounds like a.
She really was. I was a lost. The other kids were one day. Yeah.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god!
Please, the honor.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. Yes, the script, of course. I'm sure you're already... She finds love and the people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me, and perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world, yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was—
I've been trying—
Vilma?
Yeah.
Grief? Because
What?
it's time to be upfront with you all. I did tell her. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her. Not that it came— I said, maybe one day— well, maybe that— and now— So if I'm the one—
In that, we've all had our differences of opinion.
Well, if that's where we're...
Are you ready to face
Honestly, funny you should ask, though.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
As if this
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the travel. Wait.
We're just...
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up.
Precisely. As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just...
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment.
C'est la vie, indeed.
Aww. Too...
Sorry to.
Don't worry, people.
I will have order. Gather!
Gotcha. Busted.
Wind Strider! Stabilize!
Quietly now.
Wind Strider! Gather!
Busted. Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so...
Vilma!
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait,
I can explain.
so, you... If I open this can of worms now,
Viamol, unless you...
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamol. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame, but now, the little OC...
As you all know already, we took on... So, anyway, what it seemed like a win. The drink in question was...
Isn't that the drink?
I freaked, but she didn't. The merchant. I was going to sort, but I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and yeah.
Hey, don't...
What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and... How could you...
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, let's...
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered! She was the love of my life! And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show! How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you end my life.
Get out of my sight!
That's enough! Can you stop conflating the show on stage? You keep saying...
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. But in her own what she wanted. I understand.
Yeah.
So think hard if you really hate each other. But you can't. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I didn't mean it. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilma...
Really? but she sounded like such a...
Of course she was.
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right. Let's...
So...
Clearly, everyone, the end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you...
The Traveler is right. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind,
You really think?
I trust that...
No.
Well,
Come, let's pay a visit.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person, and this
Hey! It's full of script!
Let me take a look. Looks like she kept a detail. If we'd had the...
Lachey took...
I guess wait. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourself.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero. I can't bear to think how... wait. If you become human...
Isn't that the most important line?
Because
Oh!
So she didn't regret her decision. I'm sure she had their utmost...
She deserves it.
even in the
She did her best. We know what...
I will channel. I won't ask.
Really? How can you be so sure when you...
Don't underestimate my experience. If you want, and I don't believe anybody could be more committed to
Thank you for the...
Then, let's not delay.
Actually, before that, during the curtain...
But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be... Besides...
Well...
All right. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's a...
That place? Oh, don't be silly.
Whoa, wait.
No. That's never going to work.
What are you afraid of?
No.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess it, come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from... News, everyone! Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned, we've had to fight a touching now.
The sooner we can feel, Molly and I just went over some parts of the script and
Wow!
Communication is vital to any good.
It's amazing!
Please feel free to give us...
Hey, Loic!
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
this has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles.
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why does it have to be now?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why?
They've...
What?
I figured...
How could you do...
I'm sorry.
You...
Miss
Say no more. Loic, you're...
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done.
Please take
Thank you.
Never mind. No one likes Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse.
I do not doubt what in...
It's her pure heart, despite...
Well said. I leave...
Is she here yet?
When will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My... wish...
You can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name.
I don't know, maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make. Still, it felt good.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, she's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that every—
Yes, I know the rule, but...
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah?
Well, this is a great chat. Paimon flew over.
Oh, I've got no idea. I'll bet the audience...
Wait, what about Dolphy?
Oh, let's...
Yes, if nothing else.
You're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her—
How did the
You'll be good!
That's one. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry, even though you couldn't...
I've had bad luck.
Blaming your bad luck.
Oh, don't you...
Aw,
You mean we never...
So, any plans after the brilliant you could?
No.
Yeah. After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another after watching Miss Furina's performance.
Oh, what about you, Miss Furina?
Well, frankly, you rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say, maybe. I still don't wish to pretend to be... Yeah. But from I want to watch them I'm sure.
Sounds like the more you get out into the world,
If a vision, then I should